Hello, hello. So today I am going to ask Ozenan to discuss um, death and what happens when we die. This is a subject that is fascinating and important to me. For those of you that know about my history, a lot of um, the ways that I came into this work had to do with with a big death that I experienced in my life. And then the fear of death has been a theme in my life that's been really important. And so, yeah, this is a question that I think is important to everyone. It's fascinating to me. If you're finding these videos helpful, please like and subscribe. Then you will see when new videos come up, and also it will allow other people to discover them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring through Asana. Yes, we are pleased to speak about this topic today. The topic of death is one that is very important for us to speak on because in your modern world, death has been pushed to the side, it has been ignored. It is something that people are hush hush about or do not wish to speak about. And this is to your detriment because the fear of death is a fear, while it is very natural, it is a fear that can get in the way of your journey, your path, if you will. It can stop you from fully living your lives if you are constantly thinking about, oh no, I might die if I do this, or I might die if I do that. Now, of course, we do not mean that you should throw caution to the wind and never consider your own personal safety. However, the fear of death has in many ways taken over your modern world, not all cultures, but many of the modern cultures. And we can see that this is in some ways by design, because keeping you very afraid keeps you from stepping into your personal power fully. So we would just like to first assure you that you are all infinite beings. You are, there is no true ending or beginning to your existence. There are, at the same time, small beginnings and small endings over and over and over and over and over throughout existence. You, for example, are born and you will, of course, die. This version of you, this human form of you, will die at some point. And what this means is that this human incarnation will end and your energy will return back to the universal consciousness, the all that is, the source. But this is, even in saying this is not exactly accurate because you are not truly returning anywhere. You have never left. You are there right now. However, for the sake of understanding, we will use these terms so as not to make this too complicated. When a human passes, when the body stops functioning, the energy of that human, the energy of your soul, passes through, we could call it an energetic gateway. And in passing through this energetic gateway, the first experience that you will have is an experience related to what you expect to experience when you leave your body. And this is not necessarily what you logically expect in the front of your brain, but what deeply, deep inside of you, you expect to experience, you will experience, at least initially. So for many people, this involves seeing a light, moving through a tunnel of light, as many humans have shared this particular experience with each other. For some people, this will mean nothingness for a period of time, as if you are sleeping. For some people, this is a scary experience. And we would like to emphasize that whatever your experience is as you pass through this energetic gateway, it is temporary. And for those who do experience the scary experience, because that is what they expect to experience when they die, the beauty of that experience is that they will find their way out of that scariness by finding their way to love, by finding their way to light. And that will be a great experience of growth for their soul. So even those who have the initial scary experience, it is only temporary and it is beneficial for their soul's growth. Once you have passed through this energetic gateway, then your energy will move into a somewhat liminal space where things are still quite 3D like. This is so your energy can adjust to the change that has just happened. And it is a massive change, of course. You will come into a space where you are still playing in 3D in a way. It will be very 3D like, not exactly the same as the true 3D dimension and your Earth life, but similar. You will have access to much knowing, much understanding that you did not have in the 3D world, but you will still be able to create in a 3D way. And this will help you to adjust. We would also like to assure you that when you pass to the other side, you do have the ability to connect with, to communicate to beings that are still in the 3D dimension. Now, this communication is often subtle, but you will be able to communicate. And this, for many people, is very reassuring. And it is also very important for many souls when they first cross over to be sure that the people that they have left behind in the earth plane are okay, and know that they are also okay, they being the past human. And when you are in this next space, this liminal, somewhat 3D space, you may spend lots of time there. You will experience a review of your life, but this is not something to fear at all. This is completely non-judgmental. It is an assessment. You will see how your contracts went. You will consult with your guides that were guiding you throughout your lifetime, and you will begin to learn from the incarnation that you have just left. Not to say that you did not learn during your incarnation. You certainly do learn in your incarnation, but there will be great lessons that can only be understood once you have left the human incarnation. And then you will have the opportunity to really do whatever you like for some time. Many souls choose to rest. Many souls choose to learn new and different things. Many souls choose to prepare for another incarnation. There are so many options available to you on the other side. We share this with you because the experience of moving or crossing to the other side is one of great, great beauty, dear ones. It is a feeling of great expansion as suddenly you know what you used to know. You can recall all of your incarnations and not just the one that you were focused in. It is a beautiful return to home. This is the wording that we would like to use, a beautiful return to home. And you are all infinite. So there will be many, many opportunities to experience this and to go through this cycle. Once you are on the other side, you may also choose to incarnate on other planets and in other worlds other than your Earth. We would also like to point that out. You do not necessarily have to incarnate on Earth again, although once you reach the other side, you may have a different perspective of your human life, and you very likely will wish to reincarnate on Earth again. We know that some of you feel resistance to this statement. We would like to assure you that from the vantage point of the other side, you can understand and see the beauty in all of your human experience. We would also like to say that death and the fear of death are a very normal part of existence, that the fear of death is baked into your biology. Of course, if it wasn't, you would probably be shooting out of your bodies left and right when you got fed up with your human existence. We do find this funny to think about. Now, the fear of death, it is a normal and natural part of your life. And we would also encourage you to face this fear, to look at this fear, to allow yourself to feel it, not to avoid this fear. And one beautiful way to do this is to begin to consider your own death. Consider perhaps your own service after your death. Funeral is the word many of you use. Perhaps consider these things because it allows you to face your death face to face. Even if you are very young, it can be very beneficial to consider the possibility of your own mortality because it is a definite. All of you will experience this death. It is also helpful to perhaps begin speaking with people close to you about death. And when someone close to you passes, we would also encourage you to allow yourself to feel everything you feel about this, including your own fears that come up around your own mortality as you go through the grieving process. This is very, very helpful and will support you in not getting rid of the fear of death, but embracing your fear of death as a natural part of your life that does not need to be avoided. This is the key, really, with any fear. Embracing it, feeling it, and no longer trying to avoid it. It is in the avoidance of these fears that you begin to get into maladaptive behaviors that do not benefit you. We hope that this has been helpful. We will speak more on this subject in the future, but we wanted to share this initial transmission about what to expect in the death process, as it is something that is avoided so much in your modern world. We thank you with love. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to work with me, head to the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please head down and like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.